We join Jody back after that interview with Willem Dafoe to, an intervention, I guess. Although I'm pretty sure the people at your intervention are all supposed to say stuff like, you know, we're here for you and we care for you, but Philip is here, so that's kind of out the window.
Please don't leave me here.
Just for a couple of days. You'll see, time will go by fast.
Susan, we need to go. There's no reason to drag this out.
Oh my god, Dad, will you fuck off?
Be brave, darling. You're strong. I know you're strong.
Strong? I'm 8. And there's some ghost things trying to attack me.
Jody, I know it's hard leaving your home and your family, but here we have a better chance of understanding what's happening. We can find a way to protect you.
Nobody can protect me.
So if this seems really weirdly final for something that's only supposed to take like 2 days, just hold on. We'll see exactly what's going on in just a bit.
If you need anything or if anything's wrong, just call and we'll come right away. Okay?
Okay, but there's like a lot wrong happening, like all the time, really.
Good night, Jody.
Oh, before we do anything though, there is a conversation happening.
No, Nathan, we can't take it anymore. Now, first, there was the invisible friend she keeps talking to, right? And then there was stuff moving around the house by itself, and now these things that are attacking her in the middle of the night.
Well, at least he believes us, right?
Philip, I know it's difficult,
No,
but
You don't understand. We're done. We quit. Hey, tell her we have to go away. I don't even really care, but there is no way she's coming back home with us. Okay, we want our normal life
She's just
back.
a child. You're the only family she's got. She needs you. You can't dump her just like that.
She'll get over it.
Oh yeah, totally. The only parent she's ever known just kind of abandoning
Okay.
her and like all
Now,
this
you tell her,
childhood trauma with
or
the
I'll
weird
tell her.
attacks. No, she'll just get over it. Whatever,
Give me some
Philip.
time. Let me figure it out.
You don't take too long, Nathan. Come on, Susan.
You know what? Whatever. You can't quit. You're fired. You're fired as my parents because you've been doing a really bad job. But, yeah, that happened. Oh, and it looks like he snapped out of it, so time for another conversation.
Coffee? Sure. Looks like we're gonna be in for a long night.
So, a weird thing here is that they're just playing an actual, like, real college basketball game. It just seems like a weird detail that they used, like, a real thing that wasn't like an animation. This is real footage from a real game. Just in the background.
You know when the attack started?
Her mother told me that they had been going on for months. At first, she thought they were nightmares and that she would get used to it. But then she realized there was more to it than that.
Marks on her body. Look like scratches or bites.
You see where these wounds are located? She couldn't have done this. And it doesn't look like child abuse. Maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe something is trying to kill her.
Well, if Jody couldn't have done it, and neither could her parents, yeah,
Whatever the
there
case,
is
that's one brave little
there is
girl.
something actually bad happening.
She's got a very interesting psychological profile for a kid her age, that's for sure.
That's one way of putting it.
You look beat. Why don't you go off to bed? I'll take first watch. Call you at 3 a.m.
Okay. Good night, Cole.
Good night, Nathan.
So we're going to see later that specifically Jodie can see and hear through Aiden. So all of these conversations that she is being privy to are kind of jarring. And speaking of jarring, if you try to go too far out of the play zone as Aiden, you get that weird high-pitched, like, noise, and then the screen goes black. So we can't actually go too far. We got a really weird magazine that they very specifically hid the name of. I imagine it's Cape Town, but I really couldn't find anything on the internet that kind of resembled it. There's a newspaper about baseball, kind of. There's a bunch of calendars over here, a couple of posters. But the really neat thing that I like about this section is you see all the monitors where the cameras in the room are. They're live. Like, this is actually where Jodie is, and if she moves around, like, you can actually see her move in the monitor. It's a neat little detail that I'm glad they got right. And remember, if you're planning on staying up all night to watch some paranormal activity, to drink some natural mineral clear water. You know, none of that cloudy stuff. So anyway, let's actually get back to Jodie in a room that is feeling a lot more like a police interrogation room with a one-way mirror and all of these cameras. There are a lot of them. But I guess if you're going to observe some freaky paranormal stuff, you know, you kind of need them. Still weird, though. Anyway, we do need to get changed for bed, because apparently it's night.
It's getting late. Bedtime, Jodie. Your pajamas are on the couch.
But if you stand still for long enough, the camera eventually switches to this weird Big Brother vision to always let you know that you are being watched.
All right. Find somewhere to change.
So the living room, the kitchen, the bedroom, those aren't good places to change.
Hope they haven't put cameras in here too.
That's a creepy thought, but thankfully no, there are no cameras in the bathroom. And we can even go back in and check. Though we're mostly here for one interaction. And hey, no weird jump scare things. Or whatever. So this is already better than home. So the goal here is to just go to bed, but we're gonna mess around for a bit. We're just gonna take a look at how empty this whole place is and how weird it all feels. So hey, just like home, let's see what's on TV. Oh, it's this. Well, Jodie seems as tired of it as I do. Unfortunately, that's really all there is to do here.
Come on, Bunny Gruff. Let's see where we're going to sleep tonight.
So, I don't really want to be alone in here. Maybe we can get through this door and... No, okay. So, there's no prompt there, so... Guess there's only one place left to go.
I'm gonna turn out the light now. Good night, Jody.
Wait! Can you leave the light on in the hall? I don't like it when it's dark.
Sure. How's that?
Good
Barely different?
Night.
night.
Although it is replicating how brightly lit our bedroom was,
Don't be afraid.
well, I was
Gonna
gonna
have a
say
good
home,
night's
but
sleep.
clearly that's not
And nothing
what
is
it
gonna
is
happen.
anymore. Well, let's at least try to get some sleep. At least, you know, time will pass a bit more quickly that way.
I can't sleep, Aiden. I think I need a story.
Okay. I don't really know how a ghost with no voice is gonna tell a story, but it wants us to do something with this flashlight. Okay, I've got questions. The biggest one is how? Oh. Huh. So it's not really clear what we're supposed to do here, but in order for us to trigger something, we actually have to leave the bedroom and then go back in. Before we do that though, we can kind of look around and see that Cole is just really doing his job. So good. So Cole is fast asleep. Let's find the most deliberate way of waking him up.
Ay. Oh, come on. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Crap. Nathan.
So now we're actually gonna fight these things. It's not super clear if it's the same ghost thing multiple times, or if it's different ones and we're just sort of obliterating them as they come along. Because it seems like we're obliterating them, but they keep on coming.
My God, Jody! Get a doctor! Hurry!
So you guys got that on camera, right? Now you know I'm not crazy?
It's okay.
I mean, violent maybe, but you know I'm not, like, hallucinating all
Aiden
this
isn't
now,
scared
right?
of them anymore.
And if you do a good job of beating the monsters, you get that little message saying that Aiden is no longer afraid. So in an interview about Beyond Two Souls, David Cage has said, "I've always felt that game over is a state of failure more for the game designer than from the player. It's like creating an artificial loop saying, you didn't play the game the way I wanted you to play, so now you're punished, and you're going to come back and play it again until you do what I want you to do." That's from an article with a bit of a cryptic title. But let's see if we can test that out and see what happens if we don't do anything to help Jody. Now this initial part is going to play out the same way. We have to at least get Cole to wake up.
Oh, what the? Something's happening. Something's happening!
So right now, Jody, as you can see, is on the other side of the door, but this is the conversation we didn't see.
Goddamn door won't open.
I mean, it's a short conversation, but nothing actually progresses until you go back in. So if you just sit here and wait, the game will eventually move forward, but it's going to take a long time, and we've already seen most of this, so, you know, let's just speed this up a bit. So this is what keeps happening. The ghost thing attacks Jody, and then it looks at the screen for a while, and then it goes back and rinse and repeat about 6 or 7-ish times. Until eventually...
Jody, are you all right? I think it's over.
You can beat him, Aiden. I know you can. Don't leave me alone again. Don't ever leave me alone.
So, I mean, it's not a game over, certainly. It just means that your interactions kind of don't have a lot of weight to them. Which is sort of a problem.